I've been walking an average of 7,000 steps per day, lifting 2 to 3 times per week, and eating more mindfully, yet nothing seems to be changing. I'm still carrying about 20 to 30 pounds of extra weight, give or take, depending on the day and the outfit, but I'm still tired and not like the newborn sleep deprived tired. Why am I still dragging kind of tired? So I decided to stop guessing and start advocating for myself. Hello. If you're new here, I'm Sarah. I'm a nutrition and health coach, plus a personal trainer who lost 65 pounds 10 plus years ago after overcoming disordered eating in my teens and my early 20s. With therapy and time and a lot of inner work, I have managed to keep that weight off for over a decade until now. I'm 36, a new mom, and I've been doing all of the things, but my body has changed. My workouts have changed. My eating has changed. My energy has changed. And this postpartum season, it's been humbling. But this isn't about bounce back culture. What it is about, it's about moving forward, finding the new me, and not losing my mind in the process. What I've tried to do recently is try to take all of the tools that I know have worked for me in the past, like adding more movement into my life or eating more mindfully. I'm taking all of these things and I'm adding them together to hopefully make something happen. Um, to be more specific, I am walking an average of 7,000 steps per day, which is up from 4,000 or less per day. I am lifting 2 to 3 times per week after taking about a month hiatus from any sort of intentional movement. I am also attending PT or physical therapy for an elevated first rib, which is slowly but surely resolving itself as I strengthen my mid back muscles. I am eating more mindfully without restriction. Occasionally, I will track food just to kind of get a guesstimate on where I'm hitting and trying to be more intentional about eating when I am hungry versus just eating out of boredom. So I'm not doing anything extreme in that realm. I'm getting more consistent sleep. Ren, my baby girl, she's sleeping, thank God, she's sleeping a little bit better. She's not waking up throughout the night. She'll cry occasionally, but for the most part, she's sleeping pretty well at night. With that, I have gone back to mental health therapy these past few months because there was a time period where I just felt numb. Like, despite all of the good things going on in my life, or even the bad things, like, none of it was really impacting me. I was just kind of like there. And I knew that I just felt off, and I still feel off, even after all these changes, because I'm not dieting, I'm not skipping meals. I'm doing things that are sustainable that I know work long term, yet not much has changed. And again, I'm not just talking about weight, I'm talking about energy, I'm talking about mood, I'm talking about the way I feel in my skin. So this stuff is not adding up. My postpartum journey has not been a walk in the park at all. It has been a little bit brutal and, like I said earlier, a little bit humbling. So I am relying on 2 to 4 cups of coffee per day, even with decent sleep. Like, I constantly feel a little foggy and a little tired. I'm breaking out. My skin's breaking out like I'm going through puberty again. My hair is shedding faster than it ever has before. I've been sick a lot this past year. Colds, stomach bugs, dry cough that just like won't quit. And for context, Ren is not in daycare, so she's not patient zero here. Like, I am the sole person getting sick in my household, and I don't understand why. On top of that, I mentioned I've been doing all of the therapies. I'm in physical therapy for that elevated first rib. Just FYI, if you are nursing and in this position a lot, or hugging your kid, or holding your kid, like, I elevated a rib doing that. Your first rib is right here. Um, that was so painful. And aside from that, I've done pelvic floor physical therapy over the course of this past year. Not to dive too much into that, but I could not have sex with my husband for the first 6 months because I had scar tissue from a second degree tear during labor. Um, my hips occasionally go out of alignment. So, I mean, PT for that as well. Like, there are just so many things that just keep piling on and on and on. And all of this to say, I don't feel strong. I feel depleted. And I feel like my body keeps breaking down. So, here's what I'm doing to change that. Because I know things just haven't been adding up, I want to get tests done from my doctor. But before I get into that, I need to give you a little backstory. So, about 2 months postpartum, I went to get an IUD. If you don't know what that is, it is a form of birth control. So, I've had them before. And, you know, I actually really like them. But this time, scar tissue made the entire experience feel like medieval dentistry. When I said it hurt, like the doctor was like, you can come back another day. Like I was grabbing onto the bed, like, oh my God, you need to be done. And when she said you can come back another day, I'm like, hello, I'm a mom. There is no other day. Like this is the time we are doing this. So I'm like, do you have any numbing cream? Is there anything you could give me? She's like, nope, can't do that. I'm like, do you have smaller tools? Lo and behold, she has smaller tools. She inserts that IUD. And of course, I get it removed a year later. And you may be asking, why did I choose to have that removed? It's not because I want to get pregnant again, at least not right now, but it is because I want my body to regulate naturally before I take a deeper look into things, potentially hormones. But what I am testing out are these things. So, even though I've improved a lot of things across the board from sleep to exercise to nutrition, I want to make sure that nothing deeper is going on. I want to rule out any silent blockers and not just assume that this is just postpartum and it's normal. I want answers. So, I asked my OBGYN to not only remove my IUD, but to test for thyroid because I have a family history of underactive thyroid, of hypothyroidism. I asked her to run a test for iron because I have a history of anemia. And I asked her to check my vitamin D because all of these things point to energy for me. And I just need to stop feeling like I am dragging myself through every day. Finding these answers isn't about trying to look like I never had a baby. I mean, it's not about bounce back culture. If it was, I wouldn't be making this video to start. My body did something amazing, but it's also screaming at me in subtle, but also not so subtle ways after I've had my little girl. And I know what strong feels like. I know what it feels like to be clear headed. I know what it feels like to be energized. And I know enough to know that something is off. And I'm not going to fix it with willpower or protein shakes. Like, this isn't about shrinking, it's about getting really curious about healing, about clarity, about finding peace within my body again. And I'll be honest, part of me did not want to share this. I'm a coach. I'm supposed to know what to do. Supposed to know what to do. But that's exactly why I'm sharing it because I think more women really need to see the messy middle, not just the before and the after. Because if I'm feeling this way with all of the tools and all of the knowledge that I have, I know I'm not the only one. I've lost 65 pounds before. That took strategy. But what I'm learning now takes something much deeper. It takes patience, it takes self-trust, and it just takes a new level of grace. In the next video, I am walking you through my actual lab results, what came back normal, what didn't, and what I am learning from it all. I'll also be sharing the next test that I am asking of my doctor, also her recommendations, and my take on weight loss drugs, not from a trending topic angle, but from the lens of someone who has had disordered eating in the past and who also lost 65 pounds by taking the slow way and really focusing on nutrition, on mindset, and on movement. But most importantly, I want to share how I'm staying grounded through it all by not acting like I'm fine, but by continuing to get back to the basics and nourishing my body, making movement a priority in a way that makes me feel strong, continuing to get rest, and just reminding myself that I'm not broken. I'm just in a different season. So I don't have all of the answers yet. But in the next video, I'm getting a little bit closer. And I think what I find might surprise you. If you're a mom who finds yourself in the same season, or you're someone who has done all of the right things, but you still feel stuck, hit subscribe. I'm sharing it all, from the testing to the workouts to the meals, the messy middle, and everything in between. Just know that you're not alone, and moms matter too. If you want, comment and let me know if you have ever felt the way I have. I'd be very interested in hearing your take. And just know, again, that you're not alone. I'm here with you every step of the way. But in the meantime, be sure to grab my free 7-day meal plan. You can train with me in the RepKey Fitness app, or you can check out Purple Carrot Meals when you can't be bothered to think about what's for dinner. Thanks again for being here. Let's get strong, bold, and healthy together.